handoff again, and then a pass back to top. Beautiful. I love that. But it wasn't clean. So again, okay, there's just a lot of stuff happening. I don't know that there was terrible decisions as much as that just didn't work because the passes weren't.
Really great tackle.
Really good tackle. Back up a little.
So the pickup here can slow it down because we have BS on this side. The bludger is right behind who is driving right now, and our second beater is, I can't even tell. But their beater is hanging way back.
K9 has no opportunity to make a goal for themselves at this point. So
yep.
If you're not being tackled, they're not going to take you down. You can take a few steps to drive, but you have to be still clear in your mind where your passing option is. You have to know, where am I driving and where is my passing option at all times? Do I have a passing option deeper? Do I have a passing option as a reset? What is the save out if things start to go bad?
Yeah.
So he's driving, and the two players that are driving down around the side that far is almost always a poor choice. But if he did that with the intention of passing back up to 22 immediately as he got low, and that all of a sudden, if the ball immediately is magically perfectly past 22 right now, there's a 22 and 75, which I'm guessing is still you.
Yep, that's still me.
I didn't know that's red hoodie.
Yep, red hoodie.
And so if the ball goes to 22 right now, and you have advantage with 22 and you being able to crash the hoops for an easy goal.
It's actually what I was calling out right there. You can see me pointing to Cody.
The people are not. And I'll stress that people are not. You know what the right play is. You have to be really clear and direct in the communication you do.
Yeah.
Reset now.
Yeah.
Anything else is not going to get through to someone who is in tunnel vision.
It's on the drive.
Yeah, it's not nothing about like they're making a bad choice or like. It's not. And you're not just at that point. You're not like, oh, here's a nice thing that you might want to know. It's like best choice, because I can see the field, is that you have to reset the ball now. 22 also has to be yelling for it. So that's sort of it. If you're driving, you do have tunnel vision, and you have to be drilled into. This is something that doesn't work just in a game. You have to drill in that trust over a number of practices, that when even if you're like full of adrenaline trucking through people, it's epic. If you hear someone on your team like very directly telling you what you need to do, they see something you don't. There's so much happening on the Quidditch pitch, you can't see everything at once.
Yeah.
If someone is saying something like that clearly, you have to immediately do it. So that should have been a reset right there.
Yeah. I like with the tunnel vision, he does go for the pass, but he just didn't see, with the tunnel vision, didn't see the beater right there waiting for the quick tap on the wing chaser.
That is Waterloo Ridgeback defense right there. Finally, they're getting there, putting big bodies. There you go. Maybe they
can. Really good tackle to bring him to the outside like that.
That was a really nice tackle. You have to also recognize in yourself as a driver, when you're driving, you always have the natural reaction is to continue to play forward, to pass the play forward. You have to sort of acknowledge that in yourself and choose to, okay, I recognize I'm driving. I see someone ahead of me. It means there's two people behind me. I should reset my feet, look around, and there's probably going to be people that are drawn out and unmarked because of my drive.
Yep.
That possession there, that's fine. Snitch on pitch right now. A bit, right, pause a little bit. Back up even like a couple of fives. in a game that's in a snitch range, especially if it was a snitch range game. It's not right now, so it's fine. But your one and only priority at this point is not scoring goals. No, 0%.
Okay.
100% your priority is keeping that bludger control no matter what. This is a time to pass the ball around the top, threaten the driving back off, be extra safe, and keep those bludgers, because you can have a possession that's a minute. If you have possession of bludger control as snitch on pitch, that's super key. You really want to have that bludger control when seekers are released in that game really quickly, and the one extra goal isn't gonna matter, because once the snitch is released, you have an auto goal. Like, you basically, in a game where that matters, their beaters are going to be distracted by this play. Either their beater goes to the snitch, in which case you have an auto goal after delaying for a minute, or they don't go for the snitch, and your seeker has infinite load time until you try to score. So there is no advantage to scoring during this minute. You really just want to delay. There should, unless they give you the easiest goal to walk in, don't take any risk in using those bludgers or losing this quaffle.
Right.
They're gonna have to make up the quaffle point differential.
Instead, it looks like they're running it like any normal offense, and I don't think that 60 up is enough of a cushion for me to be comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
They're driving with a bludger during snitch on pitch, which is very aggressive and is a real good way. They would take both bludgers up basically to the keeper zone line. That's a recipe to lose bludger control. If I were the this is the one time where it's okay to prioritize quaffle a little bit. Like that, you do have to beat the quaffle carrier, but as soon as that happens, eyes up and try and get that bludger control back, because they've risked it. Like, you take this advantage to do that. And honestly, in an even snitch range game, if my team was being driven on like this and their beaters were going up, I would completely ignore the quaffle, let them score, and get back bludger control. It's not snitch range or even, so that's not the case here. Super prioritize bludger control in this minute before pre-snitch on pit, before seeker.
Yeah. So he does get the block, fumbles it a little bit, comes around.
They do maintain bludger control, which is good, and they get the goal, which is good. So this is a good outcome for them, but I don't love the process.
Yeah. Love the outcome, not the process.
And then on the other side, they don't have bludger control, so they should be aggressive. They should have tried to get up on offense as soon as they could before the snitch play started. So be aggressive in establishing the offense, but not in actually executing it. So get up, put a pressure on. This is perfect. That was a nice, drive passes happen. That was actually nice passing. That's fine. There was patience. That player on the right had gotten the ball. He would have had a fairly easy scoring opportunity, but they can also just wait and then see what's going on.
It was an injury to one of their players. So it was an injury that she got the previous day, and it reoccurred.
Oh no.
So it took she went to the hospital that day, the day before this day, and then she came back to play. So shout out to her for heart of a champion. So
yes, and also please consider your life.
Yes, please. I love the dedication, but is it worth your life?
Oh, and is it worth your life in a 70 up game?
Fair.
Be careful, buddy.
Stay safe, Canada, please.
And
right.
Just going right into secret play for Carleton. They have a one-on-one with
Oh,
Jeremy.
it's snowing.
Yeah, that's good. It's nice and easy to pass. All right.
A long pass or shot. Couldn't really tell here.
Okay, go back a little bit.
Yep.
9 is driving. All right, that's fine. Pat, pause. So there are, there's the chaser you're circling should be driving a lot more aggressively. And then they have their other, so they have one person behind them, one person to their right. I'm guessing one person off screen to their left.
Yep, that would be me.
You obviously has tunnel vision at this point.
Yeah.
You know they're going to dunk or shoot. You have to tell a sprint to get to where you could make a play on a missed ball, because that ball is going to go off the boundary if they miss. And if you can be standing at the back line, that'll turn into a pass. You catch that and you score.
Right.
You have two options here. One, as hard as you can to the small hoop, yelling and hope they see you for the pass, or way deep, so that they know to shoot it, and hopefully they shoot in a way they can choose to. If they notice you, they'll go for a shot that will double as a pass if it doesn't go in.
Right.
See what happens. You had someone on you. You should have been the sort of going just behind the hoops by like 6 feet it's not a good passing option because the hoops are in the way, and it's not and if they miss, it's going way far, so that's also not an option. You gotta commit to be in no man's land behind the hoops. You gotta be at the hoop, or you gotta be way deep. The space behind the hoops is very underused. General. That's again too much. I do too much on that one. He uses reset, and at that point you gotta slow down a little. Getting tackles. Don't wait for that to end. So back up to.
Yep.
Here. Slowly go through. You don't have to slow speed. Go. Pause. Soon as that. So the first player did what they could. That they made contact. They did what they could. That's fine. Maybe they can learn to do pull tackles better. That's fine. They made their they put in a good effort. The player here was looking at the ball to block the ball the whole time. Instead, they have to recognize that they're the second player. They have to know they are acting differently because they have to make different decisions because they're the second player to come up and make an attempt to tackle. They have to go aggressively as soon as the first player hits, recognize what side the hit's going on, and then go up and be aggressive, because that's the point where you attack. It's so common that it's almost like the defense actively waits for the first person to fail the tackle or to complete the tackle before you choose what to do. You have to be aggressive, and while being aggressive, the cue to go and tackle someone is once they've made contact with the initial point defender. So back up one more time.
Yep.
1 5-second interval. And go.
Carleton maintains quality possession. There's no blood.
So step up now. They're making the back player knew that they were coming. They knew that they were going to make contact. You have to step up and close that gap immediately.
They're going in for a drive. Pass back to Darren. Darren fumbles the catch. Darren looks up. You see the lane.
Again, step up. Everyone, instead of backing off and kind of make a little bit of a difference as you're getting by the first person, step up and close the gap. Don't let any middle room happen. Make them run you over if they're going to try and run you over. Have multiple people in your way. It's unfortunate their headband's off and they're trying to put it back on.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I saw that, and then just kept going for it.
Yeah, but if they'd stepped up and put one shoulder each on you, you would have had a lot tougher time making that.
Oh yeah, like if I think that's 57, 57 in this chaser right here, because they're in a perfect position where they can both double team me. And this keeper is a little bit offset for what I would play as a keeper.
I thought that was a beater for a second. Oh
no,
god,
that's the keeper.
He has to step up. He has to step up. He should be at you now. Go back. Go.
He's still sidestepping to the right over here.
So right now he could be okay-ish, but now sees that you guys still have the quaffle and you're driving. Gotta get either to the middle at least, or step up now, because you're going to drive and dunk on a no bludger situation. The only effective defense in sort of snitch on pitch where there's little to no bludgers is gang tackles. Gotta step up en masse. If you have a team that can pass, you gotta make them pass. You gotta always step up to make that hit with as many players as you can, because if they show that they can pass out of that, you can adjust. But a lot of teams will still just try and truck through, and you'll see more fumbles and more misses by stepping up like that.
Yeah.
Goes through 1, 2, 3.
People should have been tackling you of like half of one.
90 to 10.
Nice little kick by the Seeker to the beater. Seeker accidentally kicked the bludger nicely to their own beater.
And he's looking for a drive, and that is in.
Athletic, safer goal, still not taking any sort of utilization of their chasers. If you never utilize your wing chasers, you're not gonna move quickly before this starts. There's a lot of times where a wing chaser pass, if they're in position with the right play, a lot of the time just the ball carrier has tunnel vision, whether it's not the other person's not communicating, or they just don't see them. That's whatever the reason is, it's still an issue that has to be addressed at a fundamental level. Like pretty much every practice, that if you don't make a habit of making the better play when it's a pass to a wing, you're not gonna put in the effort to be in the right place to be passed to. And they're not gonna yell at you every time they don't get the ball, because that's just frustrating.
Right.
So, and not passing to them, or not drilling the passes to them, make it less likely that they'll actually be in the right spot. And I've seen Waterloo have the ball carrier try and make an athletic play instead of making athletic play and passing to someone who is in a much better position to then make a play themselves, or to pass back, or to do something else. I think that might be why I'm seeing the wing chasers not be aggressive in calling for it, or be aggressive in getting to the right spots, because the ball may or may not come anyways. So I think that's something that this team would definitely have to work on.
Right.
And the other, honestly, Carleton isn't particularly better in making those wing passes. They're a little better sometimes, but it's not on the fast breaks there. Go back. I didn't actually get to see that one too well.
Yep.
Go.
So
the wing chaser is going up.
Oh, sorry.
The wing chaser is going up with him on the near side, so that is good. The other chasers aren't, but he sees there's no bludgers back, but there is a bludger. I think that's not a friendly bludger as far as I can.
That is not a friendly bludger. This is a Waterloo bludger, and this is Waterloo bludger. Yeah. Waterloo bludger.
Still, I would be more patient here. But anyways, he thinks there's no one ahead of him. Sometimes you don't see it. That's fine.
I think he gets lucky.
So again, they come so close to doing a gang tackle. It's still 1-2 rather than the true gang tackle. And as soon as they're slowed up, that's when the keeper, as soon as the offensive keeper is past the point defenders, defensive keeper has no hope. The defensive keeper has to step up before they get past the original defenders, force them to make the play, force them to make the pass to someone else. Because if you stay back and try and take away both options, take away multiple options, or be a last line of defense, it will have no effect. They'll be able to score on you or pass on you. If you step up and try and make the hit, you'll at least force them to make the pass. Right.
What a tackle! The ball.
You know what? That shouldn't have worked. Did? Good job. That would have been more effective earlier on. I don't know who's getting a penalty. That defensive keeper did make a good hit, so that's good. But it's more effective to make that hit earlier on.
I think this is a Waterloo. Yep, this is a Waterloo beater.
Archive.
What a goon. Neck contact.
All right, come on.
But I do like this though. I want to show this.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
You know what? Feel bad blood.
I remember that watching that live, and I did want to show that. So
That's cool.
Yeah.
It almost killed you by wringing your neck, but you know. Yeah.
but a little hug out, and it'll all be okay.
And Carleton Beater playing very aggressive up here.
Oh, again, immediate drive and shot, or immediate drive and anything without any passing is just rough to watch. And then again, you know what? A track race.
It's yeah, it is. It's kind of funny. It's just drive. That's 3 drives in a row.
It doesn't matter how fast you score. You take 10 more seconds to increase your chances of scoring by like 25-30%. That's awesome. Just be a little more patient, buddy. Like, all your chasers, you're gonna go. You know what? Just let them know. Tell them, okay, keeper, go deep. Okay, 44. I'm gonna drive. Cut to the right. Even if you're gonna hero ball it, communicate it out and get your players in position for your drive before you go for the hero ball. Because if you drive ahead of your players, you have no options, and as soon as you're tackled, you're out. So if you miss the shot, it's out too. So wait for 44 to get all the way behind the hoops, or wait for your keeper to go all the way behind the far player to go all the way behind the hoops before you make this drive, and make sure that you see the passing options running with you as you drive. Go. He goes from behind everybody to ahead of everybody with not a great passing option yet. The wing chaser did try their best to get into position, but weren't given enough time to really get there.
Yeah.
It still would have been a decent option. Worked out, I think. I'm guessing that was a goal.
Yeah, it was a goal. Just an injury on the play.
Yeah. So again, right outcome, just very likelihood of success beforehand. You'd a little more patient.
And Cody's coming back. Well, I want to know who his physio is. Getting him ready to go in 30 seconds back to come back.
I love Atana's comment on that.
There was some communication there and some good deeks. That was a really nice pass. That's what you want to do. So you're driving up as a chaser on a fast break. Wow, that player got wrecked. Nice deeks, and then took enough time for their players to get in position for an easy pass.
Yeah.
Could have even go back a little bit.
Yep.
You did the great thing here. Back one more time right here. Yeah. So from here, pause. Somebody has to be going deep ahead of the play. Because the driver takes some time to go around people, there is someone at the hoops when it starts. But if they had a clearer path to hoops, the same issue as the other team would have occurred, where there was nobody ahead of them to make an easy pass to. A2 has to trust that their ball carrier will make it through and go a mismatch where they're the taller person, taller than their mark. So go in a position where you can cut the hoops and get an easy pass and start sprinting towards the hoops now.
Yeah. Because chaser here, right on behind.
Kind of like jogs, half goes sort of support. It does work out. They do get there in the end, but I would be even more aggressive in getting there. So good job in positioning yourselves by the end, but I would have started out even more aggressively.
Right.
Yeah, I can't hear anything that Atana's saying, so it's be interesting to hear what the commentation is with that kick. That looked almost like a double kick, but I think it's fine. Again, oof, wow, what a tackle. A shoulder. I want to go back and see that again.
Yeah, sure.
Is that I don't even think that was
That's David Kazam again.
Was that even? I don't even think that was a single point of contact on the driver. That was just a little bit of single point of contact driving with the shoulder. That's borderline on the charge with single point of contact. I think it's mostly fine. The defender's initiating it, and then grabs on and does a really nice pull tackle again. Playing.
This does get called for neck contact.
I can't see that from here.
I think it's just on his angle. I'm not like, because we're not in that position, but I think he grabs the neck on the way down. But again, because we're not on the right angle on the camera, but with the head ref right there, right there.
Grab, you can do almost that. It's a little aggressive. If you're putting your head in that position, you're going to get taken down in a way that's unsafe for you a number of times. That's really putting your head at risk. But if he was a little farther to the side and wrapped body instead of trying to wrap above the shoulder neck, you'd get the same pull tackle effect without sort of risking your card or your head.
Now, quick question, just a quick thought. Rather than trying to go over the shoulder, what if you went underneath the armpit and then cupped the shoulder?
Grab body instead of grabbing. Wrap around and grab like the 22, like the second two.
Okay.
Sort of, there's, I don't know if it's gone to the East yet. There's two sort of pull tackles that we're doing in the West. One is sort of the standard pull tackle where if your left arm is out and they are driving to your left arm, you wrap them around like this, and kind of like what he's doing. But again, it would be more correct if he was grabbing the two. But yeah, you pull down and use your body weight to take them down. The other way to do it is if he was holding his broom in his left hand, let's say that he was left-handed, or like he was directing him to the right.
Yeah.
If you, instead of if they cut across your body, basically anytime that you're hoping that they come into your arm for a pull tackle, but they cut across your body, you can still, it's called the Turkish tackle. I don't know how you'd find out. I'm sure if you watch Team Turkey, it's not real, but there's no Wikipedia where you can look up what a Turkish tackle is.
Turkish tackle, yeah.
It's going to be hard to describe over video, but basically instead of having them go into your arm, it's outstretched, and then holding them and falling with your body weight, go into your broom arm and you wrap your free arm around their back, and then you push them forward. They fall on their face.
Ooh.
Yeah. And it is unreal in terms of how effective it is, and you go from flying down the field to on your face in like a half second. It's actually quite dangerous for the person being tackled because they don't expect that much force can happen that way, so they aren't expecting to fall, and then if they fall on their face, they can back defensively and break a collarbone or do some not good pulling.
Yeah.
They're just really not expecting it. It is a very effective type of pull tackle. Anyways, that was a digression. Good pull tackle, bad execution. Attempt, bad execution, basically, since he grabbed the neck, which is not allowed in any type of pull tackle.
A shame, because that was nice.
Really is an effective way of using momentum against them, and you can practice it enough that it is safe for both players. Something that I think a lot of teams should spend some more practice time emphasizing is tackles.
Yes.
Minute mark as the clock is right there. 2 minutes from now, we're at 22:43 now. He'll be released at 24:43. Cody Reddick remains in possession of the ball for that midfield. With, I think he has no bludgers in front of him, and he has recognized. So
he did direct his offense, which is great.
Oh.
And, that was a nice pass/shot attempt at, I think, that player. So I think that he's expecting that player to stay where they are right now. So he's passing to where they are. That wing player decides to keep going. If that player stopped there, that would have been perfect.
Yeah, and then
which is, that is the right play. If the player had stopped where he thought they would be, they're just not quite on the same page. That's just something that you have to drill. That sort of a situation is often enough that you want to be able to trust that your teammate's going to be where you expect them to be. Good tenacious drive, nice goal.
She dodged that bludger.
Go back a little.
Yeah, I want to watch that again.
So who are our teammates?
Teammate right here, teammate right here, and teammate right here.
So 22 is almost in position. 22 has to be exactly where he is, but like 6 feet back behind the hoops, so that the bludger is never going to be in the way, and it's a really easy pass. And calling for that aggressively, because that should be an easy catch and dunk. if the ball carrier is unable to be to finish this on their own. Let's see what happens again. A really nice. You can dodge. Still dancing. Missed beat or dodge. I don't know if they saw it. And then nice goal. I think that they did that was a really nice individual effort by the ball carrier, but they could have been helped out by their wing chasers to at least give them a good option for easy.
Catches him off guard. So,
So there is a lot of there is value if your defense isn't set up. It can be the right play at times. Just go for a sprint without telling anyone. You really have to know that they're really not paying attention. And if you have a player on your team that is prone to doing that, you know that it's going to happen on snitch on pitch, and you should be, as an off-ball chaser, actively watching for it to start so that you can react to it. Because they will often go for that without telling anyone because they don't want to alert the other team to what you're doing. And this really doesn't work on good teams because you should always be aware of what's happening. So yes, good call. That I don't know if that was the right call that time, but like understandable call to go try and catch the defense off guard. Usually players that do that will do that somewhat often. So your off-ball chasers have to always have your head on a swivel, ready to go run down the field when there's been a goal against or a turnover, and ready to be an option. All right. Good patience. Pass, perfect. That's one of the first passes off. Even that one pass. Oh, nice work. Also, that's contact from behind and to a helpless receiver and lots of things. It was a really nice pass off the top that opened up the field and made it easy for a turn pass. That was better ball movement than we saw in the game.
I cannot find her number at the moment. She has disappeared from me.
Good patience here. No need to advance if you're not being told to. This is fine. Who's your passing option? Why are you way behind them? The usual ball carrier. So go back.
Yep.
This here is what I call I don't know what you want to call it, but this positioning shows lack of trust in your ball carrier. If you are the person who is a primary ball carrier for your line, usually you are standing directly behind player that has the ball. That communicates that you are putting yourself in the best position to clean up when they get beat or screw up, not putting yourself in the best position for them to be able to control the offense and make the right choice. And if you're in open space and on the far side of the field, it'll make it a lot easier on them to make a good call and to spread out the defense. You're not drawing a defender by being back there. You're forcing more attention on the ball carrier, and you're giving them options, which will cause them to screw up, and then you're in a good position to pick it up. That's because it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where you put your ball carrier in a position to fail. And then, right, they did fail, so you got the ball. I think that this isn't just this team. It's something that I've seen in a lot of teams. This is very common on teams where you have a primary ball carrier that isn't ball carrying, won't trust their new ball carrier, and will instead basically position themselves to clean up after the mess, which is not ideal.
She makes a move. Beat out.
The ball carrier had tunnel vision, but also didn't really have good passing opportunities because the reset person, that person wasn't supporting them, and then number 4 was recovered. 44 sort of came off them at the end once the tunnel vision was apparent. They should the ball carrier should have been more patient, but they should have had an easier passing option to be patient with.
Yeah.
I think Heather making beats all over the field. Cody still maintaining qualify. I don't think he wants to stop. I think he's waiting for another goal opportunity. No bludgers on the field. Does he see it? He just saw it. He's going for it. Makes a move. Against 1, 2. Goal.
That might
All right, there's a couple things on that. If you go back up. There you go. So here, maybe even a little more back up. One more.
Yep.
More time. Okay. Look at the beaters on side. They have bludger control, and there's one on the offense has bludger control, and there'll be one on the ground at some point. And you'll see a not at all beat attempt that just distances the bludger and then picks it up. It'll be very borderline illegal. It is a intelligent play. The refs should be watching for it.
Yeah.
So there's a bludger on the ground. Now, okay, this is fine. Oh, keep going. And then 19 sees that and makes a sort of beat attempt on the chaser, but really intends to miss, and it just goes very far. So now they have they have both bludgers, so it's a smart play, really smart play. Refs should be watching for it. And now offense has bludgers, and the defense will have no bludgers for a long time. The offense as soon as that beater picks it up, made a great play. They should be telling their offense the bludgers forever.
Now, what I would have, again, not being a beater, but by talking with other beaters, what she could have done is just thrown it as hard as she could at the chaser. So if it hits the chaser, one, you're beating him out. Two, the ball goes off and rolls for a long period of time, like rolls away from him. Well, she threw it away. She didn't throw very hard. Like, she kind of whiffs on it. She goes up, and then she kind of whiffs. Like, it kind of rolls off her wrist.
Watch how far it goes. Like, it still goes.
Oh no, it goes very far. But with I think what I'm trying to say is throw with what I've heard from other beaters, like I had Shaggy on this, is by going for almost like it's kind of like a cheat 1.5, where other teams have used it, where you throw it as hard as you can at the person, with the intention that usually goes behind you, and then you have your other ball. Anyways, but in this scenario, you could have thrown it trying to hit him, but if you miss, it doesn't matter because it would have gone off pitch. It almost like she realizes, like, in mid-throw, and I guess this is something that I realized just because I know Heather and how hard she can throw, personally, because it hurts. This just kind of rolls off, it almost looks like, and it could have gone straight for the harder hit, and it could have bounced, and it could have rolled off this way, or it could have rolled off that way, which would have been better rolling away from beaters, and then would have got this as well.
My guess is that what it looks like to me is that it actually just slipped. Would, like, if you, like, she loads up for a hard throw. So my guess is that she meant to really throw it, and it just didn't work out.
No.
And so if she does throw it there as hard as she can and it skims him and then goes off into the corner, that's perfect. And on a 1.5 situation where with your offense and you're able to beat the point chaser really hard so it bounces behind you, as you said, and I'm sure Shaggy brought up, that's super ideal. In this case, you don't have that level of accuracy, so just sort of throwing as hard as you can in the general direction of that chaser is a way to give your team like 30 seconds of no bludgers.
No beater. No bludgers,
He just saw it. He's going for it. Makes a move.
Driving. Score. Again, job. Again, number 4, I think should have been more aggressive in keeping the spacing and sprinting ahead. Although, honestly, at this point in the game where it's 130-30, I understand not going. You don't necessarily always have to be setting off if you're not putting in full effort, but like the higher effort and slightly higher chance of working play would have been for the number 4 to sprint ahead of the play even more.
Yeah.
To be a cleaner passing option.
Nice dodge by the Seeker on Waterloo.
I'm surprised that it was a dodge. The beater, you don't even want to give them that opportunity. You want to do that fake and then tap. There was actually a pass at the top. That's nice. You got to be calling for your passing options to be open, and then you got to be making the pass. 4 is calling for it. Isn't in a super great position. You still make the pass. Good job. That was great. Good work.
Aw, thanks, Austin.
or should have taken an opportunity to make the pass earlier, because if beaters happen to come near you while you're being wrapped up, you're sort of in a weird spot. But the way it worked out, when you made the pass, it was the right call and it was a good pass. It's this sort of driving hard down the field at every opportunity with it's just become so predictable that all of your momentum, all your movement, or all your passes are all going to go forward. Can really screw up a defense by doing that and then backing off. I know I've sort of harped on this too much for such a common thing for me to be saying, but like it's applicable in so many opportunities and in so many situations. Beat out partially because they didn't have a great passing option again. And then, yeah, clean it up and go. If you go back again.
Yep.
One more time. Here, right here, 9 is it's the same not trust positioning. It's this sort of it's in their blind zone. In this case, it might not be a lack of trust as much as just sort of laziness, because it's sort of late in the game and you on like 4,000 fast breaks.
Yeah.
But it's not the position to be in to be a great passing option. You want to be cutting to the inside, or really what you want to be doing is sprinting deep. Either so you could actually set a pick on the chaser that's tackling there for, or you could you could sort of do a rub where you like pick them a little bit and then you just keep going deep. Because if 9 was sort of like just maybe feet deeper than where the ball is now, they'd be a great passing option.
Yep.
They sort of just stand there and wait for it to go badly, and then when it does, they can pick it up and score. But that's sort of not actually ideal. They're really just waiting for the beat to happen so they can pick up the ball.
Yeah. Which does happen.
Does happen, but it's very risky because a very confident beater wouldn't have let him even pick up the ball. You're missed here. It's rainy, and that was an underhanded throw, so that's fair enough. But again, right result, but against a better team that wouldn't have worked. Or a team that when it's not snowing.
Yeah.
Now, for those wondering why we're so excited about Cody seeking, Cody hates seeking because he hates falling. So let's see if he has any kind of moves here.
Okay. Back one on that beater play.
Yep.
Back up one. So Arkai saw a few steps like as soon as he started jogging, saw that the seeker had time on the snitch alone, and that he obviously thinks, oh, I got to go beat him. So he kind of like jogs for a good few seconds of like ready to throw, and then still makes a long beat. There is a lot of urgency to make that beat because the seeker could catch it any second. You got to the 1 second to sprint without you're not even like just full energy on getting as close as you can and then making that beat that you don't miss. And so you get there as fast as you can, not let that beater have a chance to snitch. By throwing the beat wildly, you're giving them 50% chance of missing, and then they get another 20 seconds of alone time.
Yeah.
Instead of risking the 1 second more to be sprinting real hard to get them out.
Yeah. As an assistant coach of the team, I would have liked to have seen the beater play right here. I would have liked to have seen more of a shield. So our beater here a little bit more in front of the protecting the seeker. Just to protect, and then Heather to kind of support her on this challenge. Just try to make a shield.
If this was an in-range game, 100%, I would hope that you would see full action of the snitch. Different teams have different opinions on way out of range games. People want to sort of bury it still want to just focus on quaffle and continue to put it way out of range, and the handicaps will sort themselves out to the point where there'll be a catch at some point. Other teams want to still give opportunities to your seeker as much as you can without risking it. So I think that I personally would have been Yeah, more definitely, as you say, shielding there. It's like you're on offense, you're not super needed in the qualifier game right now. So when you have that opportunity to provide some protection to your seeker, you do. On the other hand, it was sort of I can see why a team that's up this much would want to just sort of make sure that their qualifier game is continuing to there's no risk as long as you're still 120 up. You can take as long as you want to catch that snitch.
Yeah.
And Arkai wasn't going for that seeker until like he decided to at the last moment.
Yeah.
He made that really long beat, and now they have no bludgers forever because he decided to not take that one more second to get closer. All right, so the offense again is just driving forwards. All they're doing is driving forwards. It's borderline from behind, but I guess it's fine. There'll be some inbounding shenanigans here. You can probably fast forward a little.
Yeah.
Nice tackling. That's fine. Back few steps. Time. Pause.
Oh.
All right, one more time back.
Yeah.
So, who is the uncovered chaser? Okay, they don't have a keeper on who. Was that their
Well,
is that?
This is the uncovered chaser right now. Keeper is off of hoop right now.
So, that uncovered chaser, if you're uncovered chaser, that means that you know all your other chasers are covered. And if you are not a passing option, you know that you're not a clear passing option. Right now, the distance is way too far to be a clear passing option. You have to sprint to get into position to be a passing option because the ball carrier probably doesn't have a passing option. Number 15, you're covering number 15 well enough at pretty tight. Both of those players have to be sprinting and pushing off to try and get open. It's the uncovered chaser's job to be sprinting into. If I were him, I would either sprint for a reset or sprint back behind the hoop steep.
Yeah.
Falling for the ball as they're open instead of just staying at the hoops.
Yeah.
They have no option right now.
Yeah.
They just kind of wait for an option and then get tackled.
And scrimmage stuff.
More drives. Miss. Again, I really do think that you know that there's going to be a no bludger opportunity. Take the 3 seconds to wait for your team to get ahead of you before you start the drive.
Yeah.
Because even if you are going to be able to make it through everyone, by having someone behind the hoops by the time you get there, if you miss that shot, then someone else will get it. Pitch catch is good. Game is over. All right.
This was, I think, just with all the stops in this game, this was one of the longest games of the day, for us at least. Yeah, with all the stops for injuries, and the actual game clock says about 28 minutes, and then this added almost another half hour. But like it added 20 minutes.
Personally, we're talking about things and stopping things, so I would imagine it's even longer than that. Us.
Oh, us? Oh, that's fine. No, these videos, looking at the other ones, I usually have to split them into 2 episodes, like just an hour long each, so don't even worry about that. Yeah, but there's a lot that we need to go through, and there's a lot that we did go through, so I'm really happy about that. There's a lot that we did go through, and I'm really happy that we did that. And
James.
Sorry?
Not doing another game.
No, we're not doing another game. I think we've been at this for quite some time now, but that was a lot of information, so I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to join us today, and to talk talk with us and to give us your insight and to give us your knowledge of the sport, and to look at this footage for us.
I'm glad that I could give you and God the knowledge. I'm assuming that you're using like the royal we, since there's only one person here and you're saying us.
Yes, like I for the people watching the video, hopefully people watching the video, crossing my fingers that people actually watch my videos, and so I'm not putting this time into the void. But hopefully I think that this would help a lot of new players, and that's what a lot of this series is about, is teaching new players mindsets of people who have played this game for years, on positioning, on certain positions, on coaching for people who are getting new into coaching. So this has been absolutely phenomenal. And for looking at a game that has two rebuilding teams, especially Waterloo, who has such a great program, and as you can see, they have a lot of talent on the team and a lot of potential, especially in their defense. Like, their tackling is superb. So I think a lot of what you have said is really going to. I hope that that this series helps a lot of newer players find their footing earlier, and so that we can improve Canada up into the future. But that is just a dream. So thank you for being a part of it.
Oh, it was great, and I appreciate it. And I hope that at least some players that hopefully get something out of this. And if you further questions, or anyone can reach out to me, and I'm sure that all the vets in Canada would love to be reached out to by any players that are like, hey, you know what, I'm trying to get better at this, or like, hey, you take a look at this and give me some feedback on this. Like, I think that there's a lot of people that you forget how far, though we're not actually that good at the sport, we've definitely come a long way since we've been rookies, and I think that there's a definite opportunity to get back. So big kudos to you to making a platform for that, and I hope it gets big.
Thank you. So do you have anything else after that you would like last little pointers that you would want to say before we end the recording?
I guess the things that I've harped on the whole time have been patience and anticipation. It's especially as a ball carrier, especially as a quaffle carrier, it's taking the extra few seconds to let your teammates get in position. It's taking time to make the communication. It's taking it's recognizing the threats that you present to the defense, and recognizing that you don't have to take the first good option that you see. For off-ball chasers, it's communicating where you are and what you want, and then it's really important to, even if what the ball carrier is not doing is they're not doing the right thing, still have to make the most out of whatever thing they're doing.
Right.
So get into position for what they're doing. Once you recognize that they're going to go drive and shoot, you're like, oh, he's going to go shoot again. It's going to go up behind. I need to go sprint to the back right now. That's my, I was in position for him to make the pass. He's definitely not making this pass. I was in a great position, but that's irrelevant because he has tunnel vision. He's going to go score. And I need to go back to behind the hoops, way behind the hoops, so I have a chance of getting that rebound. You have to react and optimize what you're doing for what really is happening. For defense, I thought the defense was actually pretty good in this game. Pull tackles and gang tackles are things that a lot of people can improve on. Didn't really get a chance I didn't take too much of a look at off-ball defense. But yeah, just it's the same sort of anticipation and communication. And beaters, again, coordinating your attack, your lanes that makes sense for your offense to drive. Communicating with your ball carrier what you want to do, and what you need them to do. If you're like, hey, blow up, pass it around, take us a little while to get bludger control back, don't rush. Beaters can make that call. Then on defense, didn't get a chance, and I'm sure Shaky went way deeper onto that. But the coordinating with your beater partner and communicating and making sure that you are always keeping an eye on Quaffle and the biggest threat that Quaffle might get to, and everything else is secondary. Yeah, there you go. That's all I can think of.
Well, that's awesome. So thank you so much, and it's great to have somebody from the West to come onto the show. So thank you for being the first of hopefully many people from many of our Western friends coming onto the show to give us their guidance. Because again, like I'm sure there's different strategies from East to West. So it's really nice to hear insight, especially from veterans or just any players from the West, and to get their input on plays such as this.
I hope I better see you at a West tournament the next year. We've got a couple good fantasies to come to, but we've also 3 weeks before nationals every year we host Murder Cup. The Storm Crows do, and we've been looking for a couple East teams. We got teams from California. We got players from like Utah, Arizona, California, Washington, Oregon, Alberta. So flights with Flair are pretty cheap, and I would love to see you and possibly like East All-Star team get out.
Ooh, that would be pretty cool. And I would love to. Oh man, maybe we should have like a different like video for this, but we need like an All-Stars game, like they do in like the NHL or the NBA. And like different skills and stuff, but we can have an entire like full episode about that, about talking about cool stuff that we can have in QC. But definitely,
the West, an all-star team from like USQ West came up called they just called themselves USA, and it was just like an all-star team of people from all sorts of different places that came up, had a great weekend, explored, and then just dominated. So I would love to see that from a like sort of East team.
Of course. So I'm really excited for that. Any viewers, please look into that. Follow the Storm Crows on social media. I'll see if I can put that into the description below. So with that being said, thank you so much for joining us today. We've learned so much from you. And remember, Canada, keep it rich on the pitch.